Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to find out more. Welcome to PeppershockMedia's Marketing Expedition podcast, keeping you up to date with the latest in marketing and advertising. Now here's your host, Ray Allen.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Today I have such a treat. I have Dr. Mindi Anderson on the show, and you're going to learn a lot of fun things about Mindi. So let's just let her introduce herself, her background, why you do what you do, Mindi. Tell us more. Who are you?
Well, first, I'd like to say thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be here with you on your podcast. This is definitely a treat for me, too, as well. I'm Mindi Anderson. I originally hail from New York State. That's where I was born and raised. And into high school, into college, I joined the United States Air Force and traveled on active duty for about 10 years, and then landed in the Idaho Air National Guard. We had an assignment into Idaho and just absolutely loved Idaho and everything that it had to offer. And so we call ourselves 15-year transplants at this point. And so I've been serving for the last 10 years with the Idaho Air National Guard, and that's been really great. So a little bit about my family. I have a husband. He also is active duty too as well. I met him at our first duty assignment, and we had a daughter there, and then she's 18 now, and then we have a 4-year-old that just turned 4 recently. As you know, we were on a networking call, and you beautifully sang the happy birthday song to her, so much that she got all shy. So that was interesting to have a networking call actually sing happy birthday to my 4-year-old. That was fun. So it was awesome. But yeah, so ultimately, what I do now is I'm the Chief Motivational Officer and the owner of MaximizeSolutions Consulting and Coaching, which is a company that is based out of Idaho. And we do a lot of work working with companies, organizations, departments, small and large businesses, just supporting their organizational development and learning, organizational effectiveness needs in the consulting and coaching world. And we believe, with the consulting and the coaching, it really does go back and forth. And so you have to be skilled at both in order to be truly successful, I believe. And that's what I think sets us apart with our organization and with our company. And
not to mention your
I just want to
background, right, and all the things that you do. And you're also a volunteer firefighter. You forgot to mention that, I think. Yeah?
I am. Yep. Yeah. I'm a volunteer firefighter for Rural Fire Department, which we actually have property there too on the lake. Beautiful in Cascade. I'm also the executive director for the Veterans Chamber of Commerce for Idaho. That's a newly founded chapter, and we're launching with that. I do a lot of work with Idaho Women's Business Center. I serve as the Veteran Advisory Board member too for a recently funded Idaho Women's Business Center grant that came to Idaho. So that's been really exciting and fun, and trying to get military veterans connected with the entrepreneur world. So I do a lot of different things. I also am a business coach too with the center, and I help their company scale and grow. So I have a lot of different things that I do, but that's really, who I am. That's who I've been since day one. I don't just dabble in one thing. I like to dabble in a lot of different things because I believe there's just a lot of different experience and opportunities that come from, that diverse background and those diverse opportunities that you can be involved in different levels. And so, yeah.
What made you decide to get a doctorate? What made you decide to want to become a doctor?
Well, what made me want to decide to become a doctor it really started early on in my childhood. I always said that I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a pediatrician. And then it sort of changed into I wanted to be a doctor of psychology, wanted to work with children. And primarily because, as you know, I've told you this story before, but I grew up in a foster home, my teenage years. And, I just saw a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have seen as a child. And it was very toxic and traumatic. And so I wanted to figure out how can I pay that forward and how can I support. But I joined the military, and it gets a little hard to do any type of those high-level degree programs. I was in the healthcare field in the military, originally started as a radio operator, quickly ran right to medical field because I knew that's where my calling was. But, as I traveled in the military, and I felt like my goal was just getting further and further from actually becoming a reality. And, I just had to think to myself, okay, I'm not going to be a medical doctor, and I'm not going to be a doctor of psychology, but I still can be a doctor. And that's when I looked towards a doctorate in healthcare administration. And that's really what, what really pushed me. Also, as I mentioned, I came from a background that wasn't very educated. Family didn't really go very far. And I think I just really wanted to break that cycle and that stereotype that foster kids can't be successful when they very well can be. And so I really just wanted to, achieve that highest level of education and show people that it's possible. Dreams can definitely come true if you are passionate about, being a better person overall.
I have to think if you did a Strength Finders test, maybe you have done it, but is achiever like your number one? Or what is your number one strength if you've done that?
So my number one strength is solver, Max, because I'm a problem solver. I like to, a maximizer. I like to solve problems and maximize, and that's really, what brought me to MaximizeSolutions. Yeah.
As your company name, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And you got MaximizeSolutions.org too. That's always a nice thing to be able to have the domain name in what you want it to be too. That's awesome. From a marketing perspective, of course. So
of course.
Speaking of marketing, what are some of the marketing tactics that come to mind for you that have seemingly worked well in the time frame that you've had your business going? Is there a couple things that kind of come to mind that you've done that seem to be kind of surfacing to the top of what you want to continue to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, originally, it just kind of gets pounded into your head when you're starting a business that you really have to find the right platform for your target audience. And for a consulting and coaching firm, that was LinkedIn for me. So I really upped my game in LinkedIn. I attended all these workshops. I watched YouTube videos, how to maximize full potential out of LinkedIn, and really utilize that platform to my advantage. And that's actually worked really well. In fact, I thought that I would be targeting more smaller businesses or smaller organizations. And through LinkedIn, my very first client was with the state of Idaho, out of LinkedIn. And so what made me successful with the LinkedIn platform has been consulting and coaching is all about, you have to build relationships with people, right? And they have to know you in order to really want to bring you on, because it's a risk that they have to take. If they're going to bring on a consulting and coaching firm, they got to know and they got to be sure that you're going to deliver results that's going to, provide success for them and leave their organization better than when you found it. And so LinkedIn is a great platform, and it takes a lot of work, but it's great. And what I found through all of that too is that it's both beneficial for my heart and for human connection, and just getting to know people and understanding other people and seeing so many different perspectives and making friendships through LinkedIn. One thing I know, before COVID, I would go to an event and I would come across somebody and I would say, oh, you're my friend on LinkedIn. And they're like, oh, yeah, you connected with me. And so it was always fun to get to meet somebody face to face. And it just kind of is a conversation starter where you really can continue to build and grow that relationship. So for me, LinkedIn has been really great.
Excellent. Yeah, it's definitely a good place to find different types of people with titles and target them from an advertising perspective too. Have you tried to do any of the LinkedIn advertising yet, or is that something on your wish list?
Definitely something on my wish list. I know I had reached out and chatted with Drew about, I need to up my marketing game, and what does that look like, and how can we make this happen? And so that's definitely part of my strategic vision over the next couple of months, is to really, really up that.
Good. Starting with a marketing audit. That's what we usually tell people. You got to start with an audit, see where you're at, what you want to stop, start, and keep. So tell me about somebody who maybe has inspired you or motivated you or is a mentor to you, or just somebody that kind of has given you some guidance along the way.
Oh gosh, there's been a lot, and what I love about our military culture and our heritage, and what I can proudly say, is that we are really great at mentoring our people and growing and grooming leaders and building them up. Right from the beginning of coming on board into the military, you just have those people. And in the Air Force, it's what we call our wingman. Everybody has a wingman. Some people have a lot of wingmans, and those are really your mentors. But one that particularly comes to mind is Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 5, Bob Gaylor. So he was the 5th Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, and for those that don't know what that means, he's the highest enlisted leader that gets appointed working in Washington, D.C., and he is the advisor to the 4-star general over the entire U.S. Air Force. Powerful speaker, amazing attitude, and when he shares his wisdom, it's just powerful. And I've had the opportunity to get to know him over the last 10 years, and I am proud to call myself a Gaylor groupie. There are t-shirts that get awarded, and if you're a Gaylor groupie, and he's always taught a couple of things, and he's always said some things to me that really inspire me and continue to motivate me, and that is always, your future is so bright. Just keep being you, good things will come. Attitude is key. I think we talked about that, right, on our
how attitude spells out, and it's like 100% if you match the letters with the numbers, right? Yeah,
attitude is everything. And he's actually the one that introduced that to me, and I've used that ever since. But, he's just a very thoughtful, caring friend. He sends calendars to me each year and all of the groupies. We get personalized messages. He handwrites cards. And then through all of this COVID, he's 90 years old. Through all of this COVID, he decided to allow for his children to help him build a Facebook page. And he's just taken Facebook by storm. He does Wednesday's Chat with the Chief. And he just continuously gives to the Air Force. I mean, he says that, he will serve the Air Force until the day he dies because, he bleeds blue. And those are some great qualities to mirror and to really believe in yourself and others, and just giving 110%, even when you're 90 years old, getting on Facebook and doing lives and just taking care of the people and being that morale booster for them. So he's been great.
All right, let's get back to business. So let's talk about what your goals and aspirations are. What do you want to see happen with your business in the next 5-10 years? What's your dream?
So my dream with the business is, I just want to live out my best calling, and I want to be able to share the leadership experience that I've learned over the years of my military career So I've been at 20 years in the military, and I'll retire probably in the next 2 years because, I want to retire when the party's still good and, the career's still great. And I have the best job ever right now. I serve as the human resource advisor, so I serve as an executive coach to our wing commander, but then also all the other executive command teams too, as well across Gowan Field, deliver organizational development and learning. And I feel like I'm able to take that 20-year career and just really put all of my experience into sharing and helping and growing and grooming other people, or just helping people to look at other mindsets and shift perspectives and really look at a person for who they are on the inside and not for what they are on the outside. Because that's diversity, and we don't talk about that enough, and it's unfortunate. And that's really, what I would like to accomplish with my business is to, of course, grow and expand and be busy, so busy that, I have to bring on more consultants. Which I do have a couple military people that are getting ready to retire, and they're saying, Mindi, you got a spot lined up for me when I retire to maybe join your company. So you never know, I might be bringing on some more. But I just want to, my goal is just to share my experience in the diversity field and helping people to understand the value of inclusion, because it really has no price. I mean, you can't put a price tag on the feelings and what it does for somebody when they feel included in processes, in meetings, and whatever it is. So the ultimate dream is to put it all together and put it all out there.
So here's a question. Why should people buy from you?
I think what sets myself apart from other consulting firms is just the tremendous amount of education and learning opportunities that I've been given. I could rattle off all of the different certifications that I've gotten throughout the military, the pre-associates, the bachelor's, the master's.
Lots of acronyms involved in that. Lots of acronyms, yes?
Yeah. Yes. Lots of acronyms. And that's one awesome and amazing opportunity with the military, is that the sky's the limit when it comes to education and learning, and they'll pay for whatever, and they'll send you to courses, and they'll get you certifications. And I took every opportunity that I could to go and do those things. But really what I've landed on and really sealed the deal for me to launch MaximizeSolutions was this opportunity that I'm in right now. And that is they sent us to Georgetown University to get certified in leveraging diversity and inclusion in the workplace, and then also with Coach Diversity Institute. Because what we're trying to do in the Guard, and we've changed our model significantly too over the last couple of years, is to create a coaching program within the military. We do really good at mentoring, but coaching is a lot different. Coaching is not me solving the problem for you, but helping you solve your own problems. So when I created MaximizeSolutions, it is people maximizing their own solutions, not my solutions, because I purely can make recommendations. I can provide solutions if that's what they want, but a lot of times the solutions are within. It's just really pulling that out and helping them to execute and implement their solutions. And so the coach approach model has been by far so successful in the military over the last couple of years. And, one thing that we also do pride ourselves on is that we prefer not to work with a company that wants us to come in for 8 hours, deliver something, and then go away. And then the people that are left with the information, they may be retained 20 or 30% of that information, and then they're also expected to then follow it. With the coach approach model, we like to work with companies for 6 to 8 months, coming in a couple of times a month, doing short 2-hour sessions at a time, and building upon the skills and the information that we're delivering and that we're helping with on the organizational development and learning side. Because it doesn't happen overnight. A mindset shift can't happen overnight. It has to happen over time, and it comes with practice. It comes with taking risks, and it comes with reflection and really seeing the results and being able to make permanent lifestyle changes in your personal growth. And so that's another thing that I feel sets us apart from other consulting and coaching firms, because we don't just deliver and walk away. We want to continue to help and support and promote.
Excellent. Just a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap up. But and of course, people can always reach out to you and follow up after the podcast. But
yeah.
How can people help you? What can people do? All of our listeners, what can they do to help you grow your business? Or who is it that you look for as your ideal customer? If somebody's listening right now and they are the ideal customer, who is that?
Ideal customers really range in a lot of different, I've had just such a, again,
diversity
group of clients, right? Because there's so much power in what we deliver and what we offer that it's a model that's potentially an option for an individual or a team or an executive team. So we primarily look to small and large businesses and large organizations to offer our organizational development and learning, plus our business coaching or our organizational effectiveness services. But we also offer individual emotional intelligence coaching sessions. And in fact, we're getting ready to start a cohort in June, and we have titled it Cohort COVID, because we know that COVID, the effects of what's happening with COVID is going to last probably for months, if not, the next year and a half or so. And I am an emotional intelligence trainer for Talent Smart, which the founders of the company are the authors of the book Emotional Intelligence 2.0. If you have not read that, I highly recommend it, because I bet you it's probably going to speak to you a whole lot right now on how to manage your own emotions, but then other emotions that are around you too as well, and how to safely navigate emotions. And so we're doing a 7-month journey where it comes with an assessment, and people can evaluate their emotional intelligence. We'll do some team coaching along the way every month. And then at the end of the 6 months, we'll do another reassessment for their emotional intelligence to see how they've changed. So with that's actually what people are asking now. I have companies and clients that are coming back and saying, okay, just kidding, I might need the emotional intelligence, especially right now, because there's just so many uncertain things that are, the unknowns, the anxiety. And emotional intelligence, I think, is one of those skills, the basic fundamentals and the foundations of any person. In fact, probably in this conversation that we've had over the last how many ever minutes we've been chatting, there's probably been a bunch of emotions, because that's just human nature. So, there's a lot of different things, and it's hard to really pinpoint and nail down exactly, who the ideal client is, but ultimately it's somebody, and our best client is somebody that wants to truly seek out services that are going to better their organization or better themselves, whether that's through, process improvement, change management, or team coaching through organizational and development and learning. That's our best client.
How do they reach you, Mindi? What can you offer to them if they're interested in getting a hold of you?
Yeah, they can go to our website. We have a website, MaximizeSolutions.org. And then we also have a Facebook consulting, Maximize Solutions and consulting and coaching page. And we also have LinkedIn, of course, and it's under my profile, Mindi Anderson. And then we also are new to Instagram. I'm really excited about that, but I'm also a little, I think I botched up my first post last night. That was fun, but I'm still working through those kinks. It's great. So
wait till your daughter talks about TikTok. That'll be a whole other one to look at.
Well, and that came up on a call that I was on earlier, and I thought, I'm just figuring out Instagram. Now I've got to get on TikTok. But yeah, our name is MaximizeSolutions Biz on Instagram. And so those are the 3 social media platforms that we are using right now. And I would love to have more followers, because that's, what our needs are right now is to really increase our social media marketing platforms and build relationships and meet new people. Because I love meeting new people, and I love seeing what, the diversity across, the different social media platforms that I'm on, and just seeing, new faces and getting to know people. So follow us there.
And I noticed that you just became a member of the marketingexpedition.com community as well. So welcome to the community there. And y'all, have you been on the site yet? Have you gotten to look at any of the information there yet?
I have not. Step 1 was sign up. Step 2 is now maximize the benefits of that. But yeah, really the reason why I joined that is because you have really been an inspiration. You have been just a light through all of what's been happening. And I know we were on our event call earlier, and, Travis reached out and said, that was really nice of you to say about Rhea. And I said, I'm just paying it forward because she's really paid it forward for me. And she's just been a really fun connection to make over this COVID stuff. And, it really is a lot of fun to be on the calls that she does. It's business, but it's fun business. So it's great.
Right. It's virtual networking because we can't do regular networking. So we made it virtual. And what do you do when you're networking? You like to have fun and make those relationships and make meaningful moments. So I'm so happy you're joining us for the social hour shut-in shindig or the marketing expedition virtual meetups that we're doing. It's a mouthful, yes. But it's all good. And on that note, one last question for you. You ready? You ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. In your military career, what is your most memorable moment that when I first say, what is your most memorable moment? What comes to mind? I'm just curious, what is the first thing that comes to mind as a moment that you'll never want to forget that occurred to you?
9/11.
Yeah.
So 9/11 and that experience is really resonating a lot with, I think, the civilian community, because our world was flipped upside down on the military.
Right.
And there were parts of the country that were, rocked, New York City, Pennsylvania, the Pentagon, those communities, but not an entire country like this. But our entire military community was rocked. I was a radio operator at Barksdale Air Force Base in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Wow.
I was in the command center too as well for our communications squadron. That's where my job was. And so I was there watching everything happen on giant TVs and the phones going crazy, and whole world was just changing. I'd only been in the military 3 years, not even. And there was a lot of fear, anxiety, panic, unknowns, and then the retaliation that we did by taking the bombs over and dropping them on Baghdad. Mm-hmm. And all the work that came into that, and the long hours and the blood, sweat, and tears, literally, to fight that war. And we're still fighting that war. And I think there's a lot of resemblance in, these feelings that we had. And I feel as though the reason why I've been able to be so resilient in my transition to where we're at is because I have experienced this for the last, 20 years, sacrifices, missing birthdays, missing my grandmother passing away and not being able to come home, missing anniversaries, holidays, all of that. So I think right now we're just fortunate enough that we actually get to be together because, in a time like that with the military, we weren't able to be together. So I just, that's a very memorable moment in my career. Yeah. And also that President Bush, he left Florida and came straight to Barksdale right after he was told, and he did his first State of the Address to the nation there at Barksdale, and he took a case of bananas and then he was gone. And it was a 15-minute whirlwind, but quite an experience.
Oh, wow. Well, hey, Mindi,
Yeah.
first of all, thank you for your service and all that you do and have done for our country, for our friends, for our people, for our community. You are truly somebody that I just adore. So thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do. And this podcast will absolutely be a special one for our listeners. So thank you for sharing. Any final thoughts or last words that you just were dying to say that I didn't ask you about?
No, I think you covered everything pretty much. But I would just leave with just one last note. Be a hope dealer. Be a hope dealer to not only yourself, but people around you. It will help tremendously to get past your own hurdles when you can deal hope to other people and know that where we're at right now won't be forever. And we'll just have to move on and wait for the next big thing to happen that we'll have to pivot with. And so thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity so much. You are the best.
Oh, well, thank you. And you truly are a hope dealer. I love that. Thank you, Mindi. And thank you to our listeners. And we'll see you on our next Marketing Expedition podcast, and join us on themarketingexpedition.com. You can get all kinds of inspiration, ideas, and information there, or join us on the Facebook group at Facebook, the Marketing Expedition members Facebook group. You can join us there for free. All right. Thank you, Mindi. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Find more online at Peppershock.com. Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to